Judy, thank you so much for coming to our podcast. Tell everybody what company you're with.
I'm with Cornerstone First Mortgage, and I've been a loan officer there for now 3 years. But before that, I was a loan officer at another company since 2018.
So as you know, I mean, I'm be the first to tell you this industry is so up and down. What are the rates looking at like right now? Because didn't you tell me that they dropped or no, they climbed today?
Yeah, so they're
Okay, what are they at? Where are they at today on March 20th?
Well, sorry. It
Okay.
kind of depends. Like everybody.
The hour, because it's like it's always up and
Well,
down, right?
No, that's the most common question. But it also I can't just say it's one score because it depends how
Credit,
much you put
score,
down.
Right. There's so many variables.
Your FICO score. And the loan to value. So you can't just say blurt out, oh, okay, it's 6%.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5.875. And
But see, that's a good thing though for people to know, because maybe not everybody knows that. So what is involved into getting that that fixed rate?
Well, credit score is one. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the percentage of money that you owe. So we call that loan to value. So if you're purchasing, you have put 20% down, you have 80% loan to value. If you're refinancing, let's say your home, the value of your home is $500,000, $400,000 is 80% loan to value.
Okay.
So we say LTV. And those are the two major things that affect the credit score besides the market.
It's so hard to get qualified right now. It is, I know.
Yeah,
So all those things.
there's a lot going on, but sometimes you got to be patient. So maybe today's not the day that you purchase, but maybe you need a couple months to fix your credit,
Right.
or maybe
Like have a plan.
have a plan.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of programs out there to help you have a plan. And there's a lot of good loan officers that want to help you as well. So maybe you have to get a sort of gift from a family member. I mean, that's common nowadays.
It is.
I mean,
if you can find a family member willing to give you that gift, right? Okay.
Right. But blessings also happen in many forms. So sometimes out of nowhere, somebody gets a major increase or a job change,
or wins a lotto. Or,
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. So I always talk to people, and sometimes I talk to them the year before, and then I talk to them a year later, and they're like, "Okay, I'm ready to buy now," and I'm like, "Wow, your pay increased. What did you do?"
Yeah.
I'm like, and
tell me the secret. Yeah, like what did you do to get that
right?
increase? Yeah.
And a lot of them, I feel like, and I tell them, I'm so proud of you. And I'm not even a parent, but I am proud of them. Yeah,
for sure.
And
I mean, that's something like you kind of hit it on the nail on the head. Like I take that seriously into heart too, because some of the clients that like will go through escrow and like it's a process, right? And we're kind of like holding their hand throughout that whole process. And it's like to see them from like the beginning, like so nervous and anxious and stressed and all of the above, like all of the emotions involved. And then kind of walk with them through like that pathway, like the path through escrow. And when like they finally sign loan docs, they're a homeowner, it's just like, doesn't it just like warm your heart?
Oh yeah.
It's like you're just like Mama Bear, hon. You just kind of want to like embrace him and like pat him on the back like you did it.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah.
No, so everybody's money, like I treat it like it's my own money, right? So I don't want them to necessarily pay too much for one thing or another, or maybe, though I don't want to explain it right now, sometimes it's good to buy down the rate. It's whatever makes sense, but I want to give them all their options. And then I also kind of advise them on what I would do.
Of course.
And, they can resist. They'll be like, well, because of this. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense too.
Right.
They're actually, I guess, the boss of their own destiny. I just want to kind of try to guide them.
Yeah, for sure.
And we actually become quite close, right?
Yeah, because you're with them on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I know.
I talk to them. I tell them, just text me anytime you want, call me anytime you want. During the weekends, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, but I will always try to get back to them as soon as
of course,
because it is a major purchase.
Of course. It's like the biggest purchase of their life.
Yeah. I remember like buying a car and driving off the lot and be like, wow, that's a lot of money. So just imagine like the house feeling, right?
Oh my God, trust me.
You're like, I just got myself locked into 30 years of paying monthly payments. Yeah. So it is a big deal, but everybody that I've worked with, they might be scared even after they close a little bit, but 3 years later, they're so happy that they're in a home.
Right.
Yeah. They're not in an apartment.
Right.
And then the payments get easier because the payments should stay roughly the same.
The payments never get easier, Judy. My mortgage is almost $7,000, and I'm telling you right now, the payments never get easier.
But in typically,
I would say I've come to terms with the payment. I don't know if it's gotten easier,
but maybe a blessing is around the corner where you're gonna have a pay increase, and then you won't feel it as much.
Right.
You know,
true.
Everybody will have a pay increase, and that's why it'll feel easier.
That's true.
It's always.
I feel like it doesn't get easier, but maybe for me, I see it like, and I tell my clients this because they'll see their payments. Oh my gosh, $4,000 or $5,000, whatever it is, and I say it won't get easier, but you will. It will become a normal payment. Like you'll get used to making the payment.
Right.
Right?
Right. But you know what? We're in California.
Right.
And the home values go up. Mm-hmm. So it's very possible that in 5 years you'll be able to refinance and lower your payment. And then you'll be like, oh, now I can breathe. Yeah.
Yes, true. Very true. We're all waiting for that, guys. Knock on wood, it happens soon. But like, I know you meant, okay, so refinance. And I know you mentioned there's a bunch of programs out there, but like, what's your favorite program right now, or what program can we talk about that you recommend to people?
Okay, so the main one, since I'm in North Orange County, and a lot of North Orange County, actually all throughout California, they have these areas called opportunity zones.
Okay.
And it's actually the government wants to build the community to help it grow. So in North Orange County, Anaheim, parts of Fullerton, parts of Cypress, parts of Buena Park, practically all of Garden Grove, practically all of Santa Ana, maybe half of Long Beach.
Westminster area too, like
yes,
over there?
Yes. Okay. So a lot of these areas, you could purchase in what's called the Opportunity Zone. We call it Advantage 3 because it's 3% down.
That's not bad.
No mortgage insurance.
Oh, wow.
And then the rates are better than market rates, so slightly better, maybe 0.5% to 1%, depending on the day.
Right.
But that's huge, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it could be something like $600 a month savings.
And it makes a big difference because it's like 600 there, 100 here. Like you save, it starts adding up.
That's a car payment.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It is.
Yeah. No, it's huge. And this doesn't have to be your first time home, too. But you do have to not be in another home by the time you close. So you would have to do a simultaneous close, which you know about.
Yep.
Or they would have to sell their home first and then get this home. So it doesn't have to be a first-time home buyer.
But it has to be concurrent with the...
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just cannot be owning a home and then this is your second home.
Got it.
And, and this is to help build community, you know.
And what is this program called again?
Advantage 3.
Advantage 3, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and there's certain agents that know about it. If they don't, I'm happy to educate them. All they have to do is email me. I'll send them the map.
Okay, well, you guys heard from her. We're going to drop her information below, so we'll have our email and contact information.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then I also do parts of, let's see, also LA has a big part.
Okay.
Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
I have an agent named...
Like Coachella Valley area. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's big. So I have an agent named Amanda Jacobellis. One day out of the blue, I called her regarding her listing. And we do a lot of business because she's actually in Santa Monica, but she works out there.
Judy. Introduce me to Amanda.
I am. Actually,
we do so much business out in the Coachella Valley.
No, that's next. Okay. Yeah, that's next. Right. Just remind me. Okay?
Amanda, I'm going to be expecting a call from you soon.
Yeah. So and they're beautiful homes out there.
They are. It's such a hot market right now. I mean, not only is it so pretty out there, but it's the most affordable place at this moment in Southern California.
I mean, bang for your buck.
Right? Yes.
Sometimes I see these homes that people are buying. I'm like, I'm so jealous.
I know. And I kind of see it from the reverse because we have a lot of agents that are very good clients of ours that represent that whole area. And there's so many people selling their homes. Like, we can't even believe the amount of money we're getting to sell this home that we bought 10 years ago for next to nothing. And they're like selling it for 5 times what they bought it for. Oh, so wow. That area is hot right now for sure.
Yeah, no, beautiful homes. Yes. I mean, like, yeah. If it was like in LA County, it'd be like $2 million or something.
Easy.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's pretty much in a nutshell. And I like to do those because those tend to be first time home buyers. And
For the 3 program.
Yeah, the Advantage 3.
The Advantage 3.
They just tend to be. You don't have to be, but they tend to be. And then, like, they have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And this is actually, when I bought my first home, I had no clue. I had no clue there were even closing costs. I was like, I have a down payment.
I wouldn't expect the typical person to know, because it's not like you're constantly buying homes every day.
Right.
So, and I think people appreciate that. Like, for us, we really try to be as user-friendly almost as possible to kind of explain all the process involved in the whole escrow transaction, lender fees, escrow fees, title fees, whatever it is. And then just kind of give them like a sense of, it's not, no question is too dumb to ask or anything.
No, it's not.
Because it's like, we've all been there. We've all not known nothing.
Right.
When we're buying our first home, like you said, like I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what escrow was when I first bought my first home. I just said, here's my money. I'm just waiting for the keys at that point. So I get it. And I think that's kind of even what separates you, Judy. And what I really admire about you is you always kind of preach that, like, you treat your clients like they're your own. You advise them on what to do with their money as if it was your money or as if it was your decisions. And I think that it really shows, and it goes a long way for the clients to put their trust and faith in you, because, they need that security knowing that somebody's out there looking out for them too.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know how to say it, but I just, and actually, they've become my good friends.
Like, tell us a story about one of your clients that, like, is memorable to you.
Okay. This is like one of my favorite,
Okay.
and actually I'm doing more business with them too right now.
Okay.
They were buying a home during COVID, right?
Okay.
And so I don't know if everybody knows, but there's different kind of lending. There's banks, and then there's direct lender, wholesaler. So usually we have multiple banks, kind of like a travel agent. Like, you have American, United, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was dealing with a lender buying this it was about $2.2 million home. And by the way, the buyers, when I first spoke to them, they didn't qualify for anything. Like,
For a $2.2 million home?
well, they didn't. Well, they wanted that, but they
Okay.
didn't qualify for it at all.
Okay.
Actually,
For anything?
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're self-employed and they wrote off everything.
Okay.
And the lady was the wife was aggressive. She was calling me, and she's so cute too. She was like, no, I got this. What about this? What about this? And
But sorry to interrupt you, but doesn't that go to show too, like, you have to have the right team behind you? Because there's so many people who say, like, no, you're not qualified. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No. But if you have the right team, they will guide you to figure out a way to go.
well, I think it's the loan officer though, because some people will just be like, oh no, you're wasting my time. I'd rather do something easy where I can sit back.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But you want to do something challenging. And you never
think outside of the box.
Right.
Yeah.
And I never want to be disrespectful. Honestly, I was like, this lady doesn't qualify for anything. But I still wanted to work with her.
Right, of course.
And
like, how you didn't want to burst her bubble.
No.
You can't get that house of what you want.
Right. And then the other thing is, for me, and I don't know if this is everybody, like, as I sleep, from night to morning, I don't know what happens in my brain, but it starts to go, and it's like, oh, okay, what about this? What about this?
Your mind is constantly running.
Right.
Yeah.
And so anyway, and 2 months later, I was able to get her house.
No
But
way.
even that wasn't easy because the bank that I chose closed down because it was during COVID.
Oh my God. So there was hurdle after hurdle after hurdle.
Right.
Judy, I hope that they gave you $1 million tip after, because if it wasn't for you fighting for them, like, what would have happened?
No, and they're wonderful. Actually, I almost, believe it or not, I feel like I almost got fired afterwards. Okay, because the borrower was like, "Did you make a lot of commission?" And I said, "Well, I only make a certain amount." And she's like, "No, you should get all of the commission. Let me talk to your boss." And I was like, "Oh no, don't do that." So,
but I'm glad that people are like that too, because it's like, obviously I know the economy is not great, but it's, I mean, there is a certain type of like boundary when people want things for free and things. And it's like, you work hard for your money.
I do.
You know what I mean? Like, we all work hard for our money. We all have bills to pay and things like that. So I'm glad that she was able to see, though, that you're worth.
Oh yeah. I mean, to the point of
So
like,
what happened? So did she call your broker?
No, so I was like, oh, Kayla wants to speak to you because, for some reason she thinks I should get more.
Yeah.
And my broker was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, Kayla, no, it's okay. Don't, you know,
don't. Yeah,
don't. But
don't ruffle any feathers.
Don't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the broker does,
especially during COVID. Like we're all hanging on to our jobs.
No, and
the last thing you wanted to do is
the
like
broker, my manager, everybody does back me up. You know, they do. I mean, it's not like they just sit there and collect the money. You know,
right.
So they do back me up. You know, because I do have questions. And the other thing is, I don't like to tell somebody that I can do this for sure.
Yeah.
Or this is the answer.
Yeah.
And then it's not.
Right.
Because I think we've all been burned in somehow where somebody tells me, oh, you could do this. Not necessarily mortgages, but everything. Yeah. Right. And so I don't like to. I don't like
it either. And I always tell people, like, I may not know, but I'll definitely find out for you for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I do. And I've been able to get the answer pretty quickly, fairly quickly. Yeah. You know, I mean, I wish I knew him on the spot, but I don't want to lie and say,
of course. I mean, nobody's expected to know everything anyway.
So, yeah. So, you know, that's where, like, the bank and everybody behind you, you know, you got to, different programs have different,
for sure,
different guidelines. So we don't know, like, you know, 150.
But so then what happened, though? You got to tell us what happened in the story.
Oh, so they got there?
So did she talk? So what happened? So she she didn't stop.
No, because she cares about me, you know. And I'm actually doing another loan with her and her husband right now. Okay. So they do give me business. They do repeat it. They're very great, you know, with me and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'll tell them truthfully, oh, you can't do this because, yes, we could do this, you know, that. And I'll tell them what's the pros and cons of it, you know. And we were getting new insurance the other day. And for this, it's an investment property. And I was talking to the insurance agent, and we had a three-way call because I had to, you know, bind the insurance. Yeah. And then the husband was like, you know, whatever Judy says, we're going to go ahead and do. And the insurance goes, oh, okay. And he's like, okay, Judy, well, this home needed flood. Yeah. So for the flood, we can't put it in escrow. We can't have it paid every month. We have to pay it up front on credit card. So, Judy, is that okay? And I'm like,
in the hot seat.
I'm like, yes, it's okay, because I know that he would do that. But he was on the phone. It was like funny. Yeah. It was hilarious.
But it just goes to show, like, they already have so much trust in you, though. And, like, that's what it's really all about. It's like, earn somebody's trust.
Yeah. And, you know, again, I mean, I go in blind as the first-time buyer, and I want somebody to treat me right, you know, with respect.
Definitely.
You know, I have had a couple of run-in with their agents because I'm protecting them and their agent is protecting them.
Of course.
And actually, it's fine. I want an agent to protect them. I want an agent to be on my case.
You can respect it for sure.
Yeah. If an agent's on my case, then that's great, you know?
Yeah.
I mean...
Then they're doing their job.
They're doing their job. Yeah. They're representing their customers, so I feel good. So, but I always want them to be treated respectfully from their agent and from their loan officer.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coming, Judy.
Oh, thank you.
Is there any closing things that people should know about today's market right now?
Well, I believe rates are going up. Okay. So I think every time rates go up or down, it's when people triggers.
I mean, they're constantly fluctuating.
Right? So then... But it triggers people to buy.
Because they get scared.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
And actually, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing because I don't know where the rates are going. But I encourage people to get pre-approved first. You know, we can do it with a soft pull where it's not going to hurt their credit. But then when they're ready to, pull the trigger. They can, like, this weekend, they can go, you know. But a lot of people think, like, oh, I'm not going to buy for, like, 6 months.
I'm just going to kind of wait it out and, like, see where it goes. Yeah. That's what they typically say, right?
But they shouldn't wait it out. They should. It doesn't take very long for us to get pre-approved. And then when they're ready to get pre-approved again, say they don't buy anything. I'm not going to call them and be like, did you find a home? Did you find a home?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like that. So, but let's say they get pre-approved now. They go in 90 days. I'm not going to call them if it runs out, you know, maybe like in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. So you'll monitor it, even though you're not calling them, like, say, like, hey, did you find the home? But, like, you'll see it, like, if it's going to be running out, then you can always do another one, too, right? A pre-approval.
Well, actually, to be honest, I don't monitor it, but as soon as they call me, I'll be like, oh, give me updated pay stubs and updated two things.
So that way you just have it in the file already.
Yeah. And then I can do it, like, in 20 minutes versus, like, you know, a whole day or half a day or...
For sure.
I'm busy with all these different things. And that's something, you know, and when people want to make an offer, they find their dream home. They want to, like, make an offer right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing that's kind of important is, you know, I think after, like, a couple of years or maybe a year, everybody's happy they're in home. Nobody comes to me and says, Judy, I wish I didn't buy. I wish I didn't buy.
I hate this house.
You know, nobody says that. You know, everybody is always happy. You know, it's just a struggle and it's it's scary in the beginning, but I mean, you have to take that, that leap.
Yeah, the leap of faith.
Leap of faith.
You got to take the leap of faith.
Yeah.
And know that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there are guidelines too. We're not going to let you buy a $2 million home, even a $1 million home if you can't afford it. We have to be straight, and this is the plan. Because
I mean, you're not preventing somebody from moving into their dream $1 million home or whatever, but you don't want to set them up for failure either.
Right? Yeah, for sure. There are homes for $500,000 that they have to try to get into.
For sure.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy today.
It's not easy, guys. It's definitely not easy. Well, Judy Izumi here with Cornerstone Mortgage. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye, guys.